Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Ed McCullough. Our guest this evening is Troy Ayo. Troy is the Vice President of Online Marketing. He is with Anderson Integrated Marketing. Troy, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we talked in the first segment about this vast array of all this online activity, Facebook, your website. It has to be integrated. Let's just talk, we talked about the question, who are you? And the word branding came up. How essential is it that when someone encounters you, be it on television, in print, on Facebook, on your website, that there is an instant branding identification where the moment they see you, they say, oh yeah, that's those guys?
Well, if I know the term brand is not a common term used by people that outside of marketing. Brand is specifically just what you are and how you're perceived and what you do. If your brand is confused, then all of your visitors and all the people that you interact with and all the people that you potentially do business with are going to be confused at what exactly you do. Anderson Integrated Marketing, we are a integrated marketing company. We are online marketing specialists. And we also have a pedigree in working in the offline world. So we mesh those two together. Because when you look at websites, websites have to have all the great flash and all they have to be interactive, et cetera. But you also have to be able to communicate brand. And we have a long history of the capability of building great brands like Gulfstream and Del Webb and Pulte and all those great companies. You have to build those brands. You have to build the impression that the public's going to see, and they're going to want to engage the brand. Obviously there's so many great stories about brands that were built out of nowhere and campaigns that were very successful. There's also great stories about brands that fell right on their face because of just huge marketing mistakes.
But when you describe that, or you get involved in a conversation about brand, I think of Marshall McLuhan, where he said the medium is the message, and I think of Martha Stewart, where she said presentation is everything. And the fact of the matter is, and let's use the Community Foundation, where we had a meeting some time ago. They may be doing the most wonderful work in the world, and they may be an awesome organization, and their value may be off the charts, but the fact of the matter is, if it's not properly presented, if it is not consistent and the brand is identifiable across all media, and the word doesn't get out there,
then honestly, it doesn't exist.
If a tree falls in the forest and nobody hears it,
right? Where's your reputation?
Don't exist.
If you don't have a brand reputation, that as a business, and even as a person, we consider what's our brand. Our brand is like a great friend of mine. His brand is he's a great photographer. He's a great father. He participates in his church. You know his brand. You know what that person is. That's a friend of mine on Island, John Brackett. So it extends more past not just the businesses. Brand extends to the person that you are. And if there's confusion with it, like for example, let's go back to the Community Foundation of Low Country. They have, they manage over $44 million in assets, and they touch so many things in this community that they've done so much great work. It's not just giving money, but it's participating. It's giving guidance and counseling.
To dozens of
organizations.
Nonprofits. It's the Boys and Girls Club. It's the Bluffton Farmers Market. It's the Island Rec Center. Across the board, every single nonprofit on the island, if you go to talk to them and say who was there for critical support in the early stages, behind the scenes, very demurely, it's the Community Foundation of the Low Country.
Exactly. Now, if they wanted that to be public, they would do a brand strategy and a brand campaign that would have them come out. Like the first thing that people say, when you talk about charity, what is probably the most prevalent? They go, "Oh, United Way." Why? Well, the United Way affiliated with the NFL, and they have extended their brand through the NFL and celebrity and things of that nature. We're giving back. We're a huge part of the community, et cetera.
You said it, and I saw that hand with the logo with the rainbows, perhaps. I mean, boom.
Yeah. Great brand.
It's
in
brand.
There. Mm-hmm.
They succeeded because I saw it the moment you said it.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the extension of brand. Now, the Community Foundation, you know, as we build the brand with them, you know, that will become a household word. In the same way that somebody says Habitat for Humanity. You know, when somebody says Habitat for Humanity, you know exactly what that is. Oh, they build houses for people that are disadvantaged and can't afford to build them themselves.
And Jimmy Carter gave it the stamp, the Good Housekeeping stamp of approval, so it must be on the up and up.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it's instant.
And again, you know, there are some companies and businesses that don't need to, you know, drive their brand that extensively. But if their goal is, you know, depending upon your goals and objectives that you have set, you know, you decide on how that brand is interpreted and how it's created, and then, you know, you move back to the online space where now everybody's the conversation is at, where the conversation about your brand is online, and there's, you know, there are huge challenges because of that also. You know, we just had the Domino's Pizza thing, and we had challenges with Amazon, and a number of companies that have been challenged. You know, their brand has been challenged, and they had to go into crisis mode and manage it. And having people talk about you is a really good thing, or it can be a really bad thing, a really challenging thing that you're going to be in crisis management the whole time if you don't know how to manage your brand properly.
So getting back to my statement from Martha Stewart, the presentation is everything. You don't just identify the brand, you don't just have the conversation with the client that lets you know exactly who they are. It is critical that there is a creative team that then transforms that into a presentation that is really aesthetically pleasing, so that when, you know, you pop on to the site or their Facebook fan page or whatever, and you have that immediate brand presentation, if it's not aesthetically pleasing or done professionally, you can miss the mark completely.
Oh, absolutely, because think about it this way. Marketing and advertising is a different language. It's a language that it takes skill to learn how to speak. You know, like Spanish or English or anything else. To be able to communicate with pictures and words, the expression that you're trying to you know, that you're putting out into the marketplace is not an easy thing, especially pictures. It's very easy to say, well, you know, it's easier to use examples. You know, when you look at a bad website, a bad design of a website, whether it's color and the structure and the layout, the pictures,
the moment you click on,
as soon as you see it, you know it's bad.
And the same first thing microsecond.
Yeah, in the first
blink.
Yeah, exactly. Your initial impression, boom, you're gone. Yeah. That's why it's such a big deal that this is done right. Now, on the other side, if it's done correctly and it's aesthetic and it functions really well, I mean, like the great examples are like eBay and Amazon. Extremely simple websites, no crazy flash to it, but you know what? You get what that brand delivers.
Easy, friendly, accessible,
friendly, quick. One click.
I don't care if it costs 5% more. I can do one click shopping. They got my credit card. I spent a fortune with those guys.
Exactly.
It's really annoying. They've subliminally communicated with me marketing successfully, and they own me.
Yeah. Well, they built great businesses based on amazing customer service and ease of use. Again, shrinking that time. You want a book? Takes you less than 30 seconds. Before, it used to take, we had to drive down to the bookstore, walk around the bookstore, do all those things.
We're just about out of time, but very quickly we define the brand. We have a great looking site, and then John Q, citizen out there who's not a marketing professional, doesn't know how to drive traffic to the site, and that's this is a one-word answer for you, by the way, and that's an essential ingredient in the mix also. You got to be able to drive the traffic there.
Yes.
Well said.
Yes.
We're out of time. Troy,
Ed,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Very enlightening exploration of the world of marketing. We have been speaking with Troy Ayo. Troy is the Vice President of Online Marketing with Andersen Integrated Marketing. I'm Ed McCullough. This is Talk of the Town. Thanks for being with us.